The timing. Good morning, Ginger.
Michael says begrudgingly because he does not want it, but no worries. You're still looking like you get mostly. Amarillo had enough, 1 to 3-ish. In the northern parts of the Texas Panhandle, it was 3 to 5. This morning, it's snowing in Wichita. There is a tornado warning that just spun up south of Houston, and that's where we're going to track this thing eventually in Maine. So it is a large area that's going to be impacted, mostly on Saturday night, and early Sunday. But let's talk about this afternoon because it's the severe storms, the tornado threat, and then it's going to stay heavy snow anywhere inland, and so Hartford up to Boston and just west of Boston, that's where some of the heaviest snow totals. We're talking 6 to 12 inches. A lot of places have not had this type of snow this season, but again, you're going to have to get inland to get into the heaviest stuff, George.
Okay, Ginger, thanks. We're going to turn now to the high.
Still blasting around, wraparound for places like Boston on Sunday into, say, Worcester, Massachusetts. We're going to do a new storm because Yosemite just got all of their fresh snow. The Sierra Nevada had up to 19, and then it's going to be about the severe storms. Monday, it's anywhere from Houston through New Orleans into the Panhandle, and then for Tuesday, it's Orlando up into North Carolina. That Tuesday storm looks like mostly rain and wind here in the Northeast. Your local weather in 30 seconds. Who gets rain, who gets snow this weekend? I am going to detail that coming up in just a couple of minutes on GMA, but also coming up, snooze or lose. Dr. Ashton is going to break down a new study that looks at how sleep can now affect cognitive health later in life. Oh, good. And then get ready to meet 9-year-old entrepreneur, just absolutely adorable, but also pretty impressive, who's selling hot chocolate in the winter. To you, George, this is a January reality check, and it's happening already. The Panhandle of Texas, Amarillo, 1 to 3 inches. It was 3 to 5 just north of there. And this morning, driving around Wichita, maybe Interstate 35 or 235, you're seeing some slick roads. So you're going to do the winter weather advisories through the plains. And this morning, ahead of this, there's already a severe weather threat. There's been a tornado warning in Texas, and we're going to watch that eventually before it all becomes that mixed precipitation or full-on snow with winter storm watches from Maine and New Hampshire all the way down into the northern mountains of Georgia. So let's go ahead and pick it up. It should start as snow. A lot of people will say, oh, it's snowing on a Saturday afternoon, how pretty, and then the rain's going to take over, especially at Philadelphia, for New York City. Boston on Saturday looks like it's going to be that rain or mix, but then watch what happens. We are going to mix just enough cold air in, and it's going to keep pumping snow back behind that I do think Boston, still in that winter storm watch, ends up with some of the totals. The heaviest, though, will be west of there, and especially for Poconos, north of the Hudson Valley, Albany included. That's the 12 plus. Eva.
All right, thanks, Ginger.
Go, and you know it has been nearly snowless in so many places. Jay Peak, Vermont got about 4 to 5 inches of extra snow before only had 0.2. So that should change this weekend. We are going to get considerable snow, but especially west of there and into the mountains. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
That wraps it up for us. We all hope you have a fantastic weekend.
Bye. Have a good one.
Here it comes. That storm has already wrapped up and started. Amarillo, Texas, 1 to 3 inches. Parts of the Panhandle had 3 to 5. Wichita woke up with the snow, but it is going to move across the Gulf Coast as mostly rain and even some severe storms. Tornadoes possible. New Orleans this afternoon, over into the Florida Panhandle, but we track it right up into the mid-Atlantic, southern Appalachia, and that's where it starts Saturday, and then into Sunday morning, it'll still be wrapping around in New England. So what does it leave behind? It's quick. It's certainly warmer at the coast, so that means that New York City, even if you see a few snowflakes flying first, you are going to see rain on top of that. But Boston could get that wraparound snow and finally get some inches. The biggest, though, will be away from the coast, Berkshires, Poconos, those types of places if you need the snow.